Hey there, Dream Chasers. This is Hannah Pryde, and welcome to Pryde Shine, the podcast where we explore the influencers and innovators of Dubai. Proudly sponsored by Pryde Migration, your dedicated partner for immigrating to Dubai. Welcome, Ashley, to the podcast. How are you? Happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. So, Ashley, give a bit of background. You're obviously in an amazing industry, which is all about semi-permanent makeup, which is a wild fact that we were just speaking about. It's meant to be worth 4.1 billion by 2028.
That is crazy.
And it's just gone crazy. I feel like, especially within the past 5 years, everyone's getting lips, eyebrows, and even with breast cancer, they're getting their nipples redone and everything.
Literally everything. Yeah, I feel like it's gone so big from when I first used to do it. I started it 11 years ago. And I feel like now it's just bigger than ever.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And obviously you've got a very unique, well, it's not really unique, but it's cool the way you've set it up. You've got a base in Manchester. Is it London as well?
Manchester, just Manchester. Yeah.
So you've got a base in Manchester, and then you've got a base in Dubai, and you fluctuate between the pair of them.
Yeah.
And you do microblading, you do lip colouring. Do you do the
lip blush, ombre brows, everything semi-permanent makeup, and we teach it as well. Yeah, we've got a training academy.
Amazing. And what made you grow it? Because obviously you set it up in Manchester 10 years ago. What was the actual drive for you to come over to Dubai and set it up?
I think, so we had lockdown for 2 years, and I think in lockdown you have so much time to think, and I just realised, you know what, I don't think I'm 100% happy here, like I want more. So I moved here with my ex-partner at the time and just thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to set up in Dubai and I'm going to try it. I can always go back, like if it doesn't work out. But it's just grew and grew. Like we've been able to grow our clients, like we've started our training academy out here. And I think more and more girls want to learn it because people want to be their own boss, want to be independent and do something that you're genuinely passionate about.
100%. And to be honest, you're within the beauty industry, and I always say this to people, even if a recession hits, people will always still pay to make themselves look more beautiful.
Always.
Like, always. It's one of the most transferable skills globally. You'll always pay to get your hair done. You'll always pay to get your eyebrows done. I mean, you've done my eyebrows before, and I have the blondest eyebrows ever. So the first thing I needed, I was like, tattoo them on.
Like, you literally can't leave the house without your eyebrows. And I feel the same with lip blush now. Like, I feel like if you don't have it done, it's like you look so plain. I can't leave the house like this.
No, genuinely. So when you moved here, had you been to Dubai a lot? Had you tested out the market, or was it like a first time?
Do you know what? Honestly, it was totally unplanned. I just kind of like jumped in, went with it, started marketing out here on Instagram, like building clients, and it just went from there. Like, I honestly didn't come with a plan, but sometimes I believe that's not always a bad thing. Like, to go with the flow and just go with it, and it's just worked.
100%. Do you know, I think most people that move to Dubai never actually plan to come here.
Yeah, and you don't plan to stay for so long. I thought it'd be like a 6-month thing, and then that's it. Probably end up going back permanently, but you don't.
No, because do you not feel like your mental state along with physical state is into much higher self-esteem in Dubai, because you're always out walking, it's sunny, you're getting the sun on your skin, you're just a happier person.
You are.
Both ways. So, and I can imagine as well within your industry, people are always wanting more of that natural look. People in Dubai, I say more than anywhere in the world, really look after themselves.
Yeah, they do.
So you're in that space that everyone's like wanting to better themselves, wanting to look after themselves. I bet you get people come through to you all the time, like myself, being like, eyebrows, please.
Yeah, and it makes it effortless because we're in the sun and because you don't want to wear much makeup. When your eyebrows are microbladed and your lip blush is done, you can literally you're just ready and you just go.
It's crazy.
Do your hair, put a bit of foundation on, and you're done.
And when you say about your training academy, obviously we just touched on it, that everyone's now wanting to be their own boss, everyone's wanting to have that freedom. What have you really seen have you seen like a larger audience in Dubai compared to the UK because more people are trying to take the leap, or What are you seeing?
We've got a really big audience in the UK for the academy, but it's definitely growing out here because a lot of the time people move here and they might be in a job where they're not happy or they're stuck to working certain hours, and then they're thinking, actually, I love beauty, I love making girls feel good. Like, what girls don't like making other girls feel good? Like, it's the best feeling when you've done someone's eyebrows and they're like, oh my God, I love my eyebrows, and you're getting paid to do something you love. So we found that it is growing rapidly out here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because then you can start your own business doing something that you enjoy. You can choose your own hours, work whenever you want, and also get paid really well.
Yeah, I can imagine. And how did you start your business originally? Like, how did you fall into £70?
So I actually went to beauty college when I was 18. And I started when it was the recession. So I was literally on £4 an hour in a spa doing massage every day.
Oh,
and semi-permanent makeup wasn't even a thing then. I got my own eyebrows tattooed when I was 21. I'm 34 now, so a long time ago. And then my mum was like, Ash, why don't you learn how to do this? And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. So that's how it started. And then it grew and grew and grew in the UK to the point where I just stopped doing beauty treatments and just did semi-permanent makeup. And then we opened the academy, and then, cut a long story short, ended up moving here. But I think when you're really passionate about something, like genuinely aside of the money, I love doing it.
Yeah.
And I think when you enjoy it, then it grows even more because you enjoy
100%.
doing it.
Because it's your authenticity that comes through. Like, you're passionate about it. Even speaking to you right now, you can see how much, like, the glow of what you do, like how much you love it, how much it's like your core why is you're making people feel the best about themselves, which is amazing. And I do think 100%, see if you can, you were lucky you found it so young, because so many people now don't really find their why or find their passion within their job until they're older. So the fact that you were able to find it when you were 18 years old on a job that if you wanted to leave Dubai tomorrow, I'm sure you wouldn't. You could go anywhere. It's so transferable.
You can take it anywhere. Whereas I feel like when I was 18, back then it was like, you need to go to college, you need to go to university, get a job, do this. And I remember telling my parents, I'm quitting college and I'm going to beauty school. And they was like, please don't do this, you know, you're going to ruin your life. You need to get a proper job. You need to go to university. I'm like, Mum, this isn't what I want to. I want to do beauty. And honestly, I don't regret it.
I can imagine.
Yeah, do you know, it's a big industry now, especially in Dubai. Like, it's a huge industry out here.
There's so many salons, and I personally think if you're a specialist in what you do, you're a specialist in the semi-permanent makeup, which, although the industry is huge, that's such a niche within an industry, and there's so many forms of it. If you can specialise in it, it's the reason your business has been able to grow these leaps and bounds. Yeah. I mean, what have you noticed from Dubai that's excelled your business in more ways? What's been the best thing about moving here?
Obviously lifestyle and a lot of word of mouth in Dubai. I feel like when you've done one client, they tell their friends, and it builds very, very quickly, which is really good. I feel like it's growing really quickly, and there's a lot of expats here. It's a really small community. Everybody seems to know everyone. So somebody might be like, who's done your eyebrows? Ash has done my eyebrows. And it's like, it builds that way. So it grows quite quickly.
That's how I got recommended to you. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but I remember I was saying something like, oh my God, I would love those. And I used to have like such a bad portrayed image of semi-permanent
makeup.
I would see it with like these black slugs on the faces. And
I feel like there's loads of horror stories online. You're like, oh my God, I'm not doing that.
And then I seen loads of your work and I was like, this is gorgeous, and I've loved mine ever since. Have you ever had someone crazy come through the door being in Dubai? Because obviously this is a crazy place to live. There's some amazing people here.
I feel like you do get unreal opportunities that I probably would never get at home. Like, I got the opportunity to do Naomi Campbell's eyebrows this year,
wild.
Which was unreal.
That's absolutely...
I remember thinking, oh my God, if I mess these up, that is it. But she loved them. Like, she absolutely loved them. I think that was like, I'd say that was one of the pinnacles in my career, to be able to do a supermodel's eyebrows. Absolutely crazy. And I think in Manchester, I probably never would have got that opportunity. So I do believe sometimes you've got to like jump out of your comfort zone and just take the risk. Otherwise, you never know. Like
100%.
My mum was like, I don't think it's the right thing. I think you should stay in Manchester. And I was like, do you know what, Mum? I need to do this. And like, it's been the one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I can only imagine, because think, when you're in as we said, Dubai is tiny. Everyone works on word of mouth. Everyone knows of someone. And if you get a bad reputation here, it's game over. Let's be serious. But if you have a good reputation, it's like the snowball effect, and everyone knows you for the good or the services you provide that add so much value. And it's a place, if you've done Naomi Campbell's, I can't even imagine that other people are going to start flowing through the door, because all the celebrities are moving here. All your rich entrepreneurs, people with influence are moving here. They like where it's based. They like the opportunity within Dubai, and they love the safety. And I think it's such a pinnacle moment of why people are moving to Dubai. It's the safety, because nowhere seems safe.
I know, yeah, it is. We're so lucky here. It is so safe. Like, we're blessed with the good weather.
I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If you were to go back to, I don't know, 18-year-old self, and I want to ask you this because I'm still quite young, and I've only obviously just started all my businesses, and I'm so ballsy, it's a joke. I'm just like,
I love that you're this ballsy.
Honestly, I'm so ballsy. I feel like I don't need to be asked twice. If someone says no, I'm like, double yes. Yeah. But if your mum was telling you no, my mum and dad are like, all right, Hannah, just tell us when it's finished. But if your mum was saying no, what would you have told yourself then if you could have seen where you've got to now? Would you have been like, do it sooner? Would you have changed anything?
Probably done it sooner, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I would have done it sooner, 1,000,000%.
Everyone says that. It's always like taking the leap of faith.
Yeah.
And this is something like, the reason I've set up Pryde Shine is I really want people to see these real life stories of how there's so many entrepreneurs that are young and they've been able to be successful.
And it's honestly not that scary. I think people think, oh my God, I'm going to move out there and it's going to be, how am I going to find somewhere to live and like make friends? And before you know it, it's all just flowing and you're making all these connections, and your clients are building and you're making friends and you live in this amazing lifestyle, and it just happens all of a sudden. Like, I just believe that you just have to trust. Like, I'm really into the universe and law of attraction and all this kind of thing.
Same.
And I think when you really believe, do you know what, I can do it. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But if you don't try, then you never know.
100%. And do you not think, I always say to people, it does take probably 6 months to a year to settle into Dubai. But if you're able to establish a business within a Dubai, which is probably the most attractive tax-wise, and it's a global hub with more opportunities, your business is actually going to succeed probably by 10 times more than it would in the UK. Although the UK does have great foundations to establish your business, if you're either setting up a business from the start or expanding your business, there is so many opportunities here to really push it at such an accelerated rate. Because as we've said, it's all about the connections that you meet, and everyone just wants to help everyone.
They do.
Everyone wants to collaborate. Everyone wants to come together.
I feel like it's so different in the UK. Everybody here seems to be so motivated and wants to help each other. Like, we all want each other to do well, and like everyone's so positive. And sometimes I feel like the mentality in the UK is a little bit different.
It's crazy different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been to the UK. I've lived here 3.5 years, but I probably wouldn't say I've not properly lived in like city. I lived in London, I think it was 7 years ago now, and I hated it. I felt like a number. I felt like I walked past people in the street, and I was young. I was doing an internship, like, you are the number. But at the time, I now look back at it and I see the young people coming through the door here, and they've got so much drive. I know. Like, so much drive. And it's as if they've broken out the matrix. Like, I asked them what to do, and I know that's a weird term, but I asked them, like, how have you got there? Did you study? And they're like, no. And they're all onto these infographics, buying courses. Like, people coming to you, being like, I want to set my own business.
Yeah, they want to better themselves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's so many girls as well that are like, I want to be independent. I want my own thing. They want to like break that generic thing of like going to work and 9 to 5 and it's so nice to see. And like these young girls want that, like they want to take a risk. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to set my own business up. And I'm like, oh my God, you go, girl, because that's scary to go and do that. Like, to leave your job and start something up. It's a massive thing. But then when you've done it, you're like, it's like I'm going to jump into the sea, and you jump in and you swim, and you're like, oh, actually, it's not that bad.
I know, it's not
I'm
that
swimming,
cold.
It's fine.
And do you know the thing is, I think it's just taking that leap and believing in yourself.
Totally.
And I mean, it's never easy. I don't care what anyone says. It might look, you're in a really fortunate position. You're a specialist in what you're doing. It's over 10 years you've been in the industry, and you're able to now teach it, and your business is probably the most scalable it's ever been. Now you're into the teaching side and the infographics and whatnot else. But people always, I sometimes think, they want to run before they can walk. Yeah. They're so quick to seeing the finished product. And I think now, what I always say to people is, look at the bigger picture and see how you're going to get it. And then I can't remember this. It's like find how we know a lot of people right now. I think now more than ever, I hear people have breast cancer, people like all these horrendous issues. If that's your like, you've got a deep connection to it or something, this could be your why on how to help someone feel better. But instead of being like, oh, I'm scared of how I'm going to get there, be like, well, this is a problem I'm going to solve. And that's where I'm trying to go with this story. It's never think of how you're going to get there. Just be like, this is a problem I'm going to solve, and then just go with it. Because if you're confident enough to take that leap, everything just falls into place because your vision is so strong.
It does.
Like, you're just running. It's like
you're just going with it.
Yeah, you're just going. And if that's...
And you have to just trust, because you do get up and down days. There's days when, like, we're quiet, we're busy, and it can be like... But you have to just keep going with it and trusting.
100%. It's like tunnel vision. If you know what your why is and you know the problem that you are trying to solve, doesn't matter what anyone says. Doesn't matter if you can't even afford to, like, I say, if you can't afford to cook for the week... I swear you'll find bread to live on.
You do?
Like, it's weird.
You make it work. I don't know what it is. It's like fight or flight. It's like, I've got to do this. Like, we're here now. You've booked the flight. You've done it. You've got your apartment. You've moved. You've left the UK or wherever it is. Yeah. So you have no choice. Like,
Genuinely.
you've got to.
And that's what I say to people, just go with it. Like, just run, because I promise you, if your vision is so strong, it will happen.
Do it.
It will happen. You will make it work. Yeah. And if you were to tell someone that's now coming into the industry, what would be the best bit of advice? Because obviously you're a specialist, so they can come to you and get the initial like foundations. But what would you give them as more advice?
Consistency, and especially with like your social media and you posting consistently. Like, I always find it's got to be consistent. Every day I'll post something that's like for clients, like what is microblading, what is nanoblading, like what is lip blush, why do you need it, and things like informative things. But I think overall being consistent, even the days when you're like, oh, I don't want to go up today, I'm tired, or I can't be bothered posting a picture, I've got to edit content. And I just think that's one of the main things.
I know.
One of my friends from home, he's a makeup artist back in the UK, and I'll never forget, he always said to me, it's always about being consistent.
100%, because
even the days where you can't be bothered and you think, oh, don't feel motivated, that discipline to get up and just push yourself.
100%.
That little bit every day is one step closer to where you want to be.
It's like the 1% better every day.
Totally.
And I do think as well, see if you are continue to work at what you want to do, and especially now, I think if you build a brand, so anyone can, not anyone, but if you've got the foundations to do your semi-permanent makeup, anyone can do it. But how you stand out is building your brand. The fact that you're so consistent now, I wouldn't even go to anyone else, because I just know Ash does eyebrows and lip blush.
You want your passion to come across.
100% live
I think
and breathing.
talking as well, talking on your videos and like explaining about things. I think that helps when people get to know your personality online. They're, oh, actually, I want to book in with her because she's really knowledgeable about what she's doing. She's passionate about it. So if you can do that when you first start out here, and I know it's daunting going on your phone and like talking to your phone, and I hate it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Oh my God, I'm the worst.
it really does help though, doesn't it? Because then people believe in your brand more.
100%. If you looked at my videos, you're probably the same. My videos from a year ago to the videos now, I mean, it's been some journey, and I've already started to reap the rewards. I've seen you've got a marketing person now that's doing all your marketing. You can see how much better it is. And I know at the start you're probably like, just do it yourself, because it doesn't matter, everyone knows you're new. But as soon as you start making money, I always say to people, it's the best first investment, because people then recognise you, whether they're out in London, Manchester, Dubai, they're like, oh my God, you're that girl that does this. You're that person that does this. And then they just subconsciously, probably without even realising, just relay you with what you're passionate about, what your business is. And I think that's what always happens with the most successful business. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
What else was I going to say? The last thing I was going to ask you, you're really big on spirituality, and so am I.
Yeah.
And what do you think is the best thing about Dubai when it comes to everyone's mental side? Because I know we speak about always being positive and being really focusing on like meditating and being mentally strong. Because in business, we've just said it's up, down, round, flying like every direction.
Yeah.
So what do you do in everyday life that kind of helps you to like stay grounded, to know where you're going? What's your biggest tips? Because I think it's such a big thing now. People
it does get hectic over here, because it's quite go, go, go. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I don't look at my phone. I used to sit and scroll, so I stopped doing that. I write 5 things that I'm grateful for.
Amazing.
And 5 affirmations. So like, say for example, like I am confident. I'm trying to think. My mind's just gone blank. Like, I am confident. I am powerful.
Yeah.
I am going to make this the best day possible. Just basically 5 affirmations. Pilates, yoga. I don't do it every day, but I've really recently got into swimming.
I know.
And I swim every morning.
Do you
and
love
it was just,
it?
you know what? One morning I just woke up and I was like, I'm just going to go swimming. And honestly, it's amazing. It's so good for your swimming, like for your mind, for your mental health, like for everything, your circulation. I find when I'm swimming, it's clearing my head, like ready to start the day.
And I do think when you run a business, you do need to have that small routine in the morning.
Self-care is so important. It's so easy to pick your phone up and you can sit there for a good 30 minutes just scrolling. It's just not the right way to start your day. If you just wake up and write, even the littlest things like I'm grateful for my morning coffee, I'm grateful the weather's nice, I'm grateful that I'm meeting friends today, I'm grateful that I'm meeting Hannah today to do a podcast. Or
Genuinely, you're
things.
like me though. That's what my routine's the exact same. I wake up. It's normally about, I think it's actually like, I've got it ingrained in my head, this full page. It's like an essay, like when you're at school. But I've got it ingrained in my head, and as soon as the affirmations is, or what is it, it'd be the manifestations, as soon as I reach one, it's like I put a new one on because it's like a mini goal. It's so weird. And I always go on a morning walk. I'm like, you don't look at my phone, morning
it
walk.
clears your head.
Completely. And I've started doing 5 minutes of breath work.
Like
the energy ones, and oh my God, I've got mad ADHD, so I can't really meditate. Mad. But the breath work, I think, because I have to concentrate on it, I'm actually doing something rather than just thoughts. Amazing. But I have like half an hour every morning now. And I think, see, with just the general, not struggles, because they're lessons, but just the general madness of running a business, that half an hour in the morning. Time. I need it. I couldn't run it without it.
I know.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You perform better when you take that time for yourself, don't you? If you get up straight away and start being like, work, messages, emails, it's not the right thing. You need to take that time for yourself to clear your head and be like, right, I'm going to enter this day
100%.
calm, and you can deal with anything the day brings. And
100%. Yeah. And I think when you align with the vibration, especially we're both very front-facing people. We have to speak to people. The amount of people we probably meet each week is crazy.
I know.
So you have to really set the tone, set the vibration, set out how you want to be perceived. Or I think it can really have a knock-on effect if you come in grungy, like, I don't know what's happened. And they're like, go away. Like, I don't want you dealing with my stuff today.
I know.
Like, can you imagine? But it's crazy. Thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have like an insight on everything.
Thank you so much.